Alright, in this video we're asked to write a method called expand that accepts an integer f as a parameter and replaces every value I with f copies of the value I divided by f. So for example, we have the following list and we call upon expand of 3. We divide each one of these values by 3 and replace their spot with 3 copies of the divided factor. So once again, if the original list is not evenly divisible by f, then we truncate the values here. If the value 1 is passed in, nothing should change. If 0 or a negative value is passed in, then the list should become empty. And yeah, we can reference the front of a list by the front field, and we can access its data in .next field. Let's get started. Public void expand. It's going to take a factor. And what do we want to do? Let's test to see if, first thing is let's test to see if the factor is less than or equivalent to 0. If it is, we just want to return an empty list, and the way we're going to do that, well, we're not returning a list, but we want to create an empty list. The way we're going to do that is we're just going to cut off all of the variables by setting front equivalent to null. Otherwise, we want to say we're going to have a current pointer value at the front of the list so that we're careful about modifying this thing. And we want to say, okay, while the current is not equivalent to null, let's examine this list. So what was the first thing we wanted to do? We wanted to divide the current data field by the factor itself, so that we can get the sort of value there. So that sets in stone one value. So what we want to do now is we can start our counter for a for loop at 1, because we've already kind of set a value here, and we want it to be less than the factor count itself, and we want to increment I by 1 each time. The reason why we're doing this for loop is because we're going to get an f minus 1 number of copies of the truncated divided number here. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to set current.next to a new list node that'll store the values of the current.data and the current.next field. The current.data will be updated with this factor here. So, just FYI. And then we'll set our current, after we've done all of this addition here, we'll set our current to be current.next, as to not go through this, replace the node, then go back, and then replace the node again, and so forth. And then we'll want to move through the while loop here by setting our current to current.next. And that should be it for this video.